the sun's back. Complain when it goes away and I complain when it comes back. So hello everybody and welcome back. Today's a sad week. Sad week. The Disney vlogs have officially ended for May 2018. I mean, fair enough, it took me quite a few months to get them out to you, but they were coming thick and fast since January, and I'm quite sad to see them end. It was a brilliant trip last year, probably close to, if not one of the best trips that I've ever been on to Disney. But in my opinion, the most recent trip that I've been on is always the best trip. It always gets better and it always improves. So today I thought I'd quickly just do you a quick trip report, a roundup of the good, the bad and the ugly of our May 2018 trip, any tips that I came across, all that jazz. So if you're missing the vlogs and you want just that little bit more, stay tuned. To start with, we're going to start at the beginning because otherwise we'll forget something. We flew from Manchester, we stayed in the Radisson Blu Hotel and we got the train down from Durham. It was the best way, in my opinion, to travel and set up that first day, because it meant that when we came back we didn't have to drive back from Manchester severely jet lagged in the car for around 3 hours. It's just not the best way to come home. So it was a really nice relaxing train journey down there. The Radisson Blu was a brilliant hotel, great connections to the airport considering you literally don't even have to leave the airport to get in and out of it. Perfect for on the morning, would highly recommend it. We flew with Virgin Atlantic. Flight was brilliant, probably one of the best flights that I've had. Mainly because of the food, as well as they're constantly bringing you snacks. I love, they're feeding me, of course I'm gonna like their flight. But yeah, the food that they had on board, firstly you had a choice of what you wanted. There was about 3 different choices even in economy, and the food that they did offer was really nice, which is something to quite say about plain food, to be honest. Also halfway through the flight attendant noticed that me and Philip were wearing just married style t-shirts, and she gifted us a bottle of champagne from the first class area, which was about to get discarded. So she said that we may as well have it and enjoy it to celebrate our little wedding that we'd had the day before, which was so nice. So yeah, flight was brilliant. Landed at MCO, Orlando International Airport. It took us probably half an hour to an hour to get through immigration, through bag collection and into the main terminal, which was amazing. So much better than Sanford last year. I do appreciate that it depends on the timing of your flight and when you land and how many flights have landed ahead of you. I think we were the first flight into the immigration hall, which definitely helped. But yeah, it was a brilliant way to start the holiday, and I got my first photo in front of the Disney World wall at MCO, which was just the highlight of the start of my holiday. I absolutely loved it. So we drove this time, we had a car, so went and collected that. It was a little bit of a faff because we'd ordered it through Virgin, which meant you had to go see a Virgin rep beforehand to kind of check yourself off some kind of list. I really don't know what was going on. It was really badly organised. But the car hire was through Alamo. It was very unclear of whether you went to see the Virgin rep, whether you went and stood in the Alamo queue, and then eventually the Virgin rep kind of put you in the Alamo queue, but you only could see certain people. Really weird. It didn't take too long to sort it out, but it was very unorganised. But we did pick up our car, went to go and collect it. Brilliant. Nearly drove out the airport the wrong way. A little bit concerning, but it was a split second. Aimee, you're going the wrong way. So fixed it, made it to the hotel, which is where my Disney bubble started. We stayed in Port Orleans Riverside this year, which is the first time that we stayed on property in a Disney resort, and I was so excited. You can tell in the vlogs that I was literally a kid on Christmas morning. I was so excited. This sun is driving me mental a little bit. Yeah, I was so excited. and I just couldn't contain my excitement. Went to the hotel room, and to be fair, it is a basic standard hotel room, what I would expect from any Orlando hotel. The theming was a little bit more, like a little bit better compared to what I would expect from an International Drive hotel or a Kissimmee hotel. However, the bog standard rooms essentially, 2 beds, fridge. The one thing I did like was the fact that it was like a full empty fridge. It wasn't a mini bar, which was really good. The storage in the room could have been better. We could have done with some more drawers because we were struggling to find places to put our clothes and things. I mean, we were there for 3 weeks, so we did have quite a lot of stuff with us, but there was a nice little table and things, and generally I really enjoyed our room and the resort that we stayed in. One of the big perks about Port Orleans Riverside that I absolutely loved was the fact that we could get the boat down to Disney Springs, and it had that kind of connection with Disney Springs. This light is driving me mental. I'm gonna have to sort out the blind. There we go. I'm not just a white blob anymore. Yeah, so I love the connection that we had with Disney Springs. I mean, it probably took about 15 minutes on the boat down to Disney Springs, which is probably about the same time that it would take if you went to get the bus from like any of the other Disney resorts. But the fact that it was just down the road, down the little boatway, made it feel more accessible. And we spent a lot of time in Disney Springs, and it was a really nice place to unwind, grab some food, and just step out the Disney bubble, as in not in the parks but still be included in that magic by wandering around shops and the Disney shops. The food that they offer and the live entertainment as well was really nice to have that on the doorstep, which is why when we're going back we are staying in Port Orleans French Quarter, which is the kind of sister resort to Port Orleans Riverside. So we are staying there this year, which I'm so excited about. Yeah, so first night, I mean, I'm not going to go through everything like in detail hour by hour, but first night we did do Flight of Passage, which is the brand new rides at Animal Kingdom in the Land of Avatar in Pandora, and it was breathtaking. There is nothing that can explain how that ride makes you feel. It is so immersive and genuinely makes you feel like you are riding on the back of a banshee, and I loved it. I mean, this time I'm just going to be fast passing it constantly. Stuff Navi River Journey, we just want Flight of Passage fast passes. But yeah, if you can, please try and ride it, because it is amazing. Although it is kind of a simulator, it definitely isn't. I cannot handle simulators, they make me feel really sick. The thing I can liken it to most, even though it's like worlds apart from it in the same sense, is soaring. If you love soaring, Avatar Flight of Passage is like soaring times a million. It is brilliant, so definitely give it a go. So yeah, we did that first night, brilliant. I think first day we headed to Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom this time I love all the Disney parks. Loved Magic Kingdom. We had so much fun just rooting around, finding things. Even if we weren't on rides, we were just having a nice time wandering around, soaking up the atmosphere in Magic Kingdom, which was really nice. We became Galactic Heroes this trip, which was one of my goals, and I got the sticker and I was so proud of myself. If you want to become a Galactic Hero, basically the only way that you can do it is research how to do it, because there are certain targets that allow you to score 100,000 points in one hit, which they are difficult to hit, but that is how you do it. You can't do it unless you know which targets you're aiming for. This trip was also one of the first where we did extra magic hours, and the park that we did the most extra magic hours in was Magic Kingdom, because they were on an evening. We found that extra magic hours on an evening were a lot better and a lot quieter than those on a morning. So we spent quite a lot of our time going around what's it called, Big Thunder Mountain in the dark, which was brilliant, really, really good. We did Pirates of the Caribbean for the first time this time. It was just amazing, and I loved Magic Kingdom, and I saw Happily Ever After for the first time as well. Just amazing, and a Goodnight Kiss, and oh, I love Magic Kingdom. We spent a lot of time in Epcot as well this time. There's not a lot to do in Epcot, however I find it's more like the town is what I call Epcot. It's a walkie park. It's a park when you just don't want to do rides and all you want to do is just have a little wander around, be in the Disney magic, have the option of a ride, but that's not your main focus of the day. But yeah, Epcot is one of my favourite parks, but there's not a lot to do there at the minute. They do need to kind of vamp it up a bit. I know they have got a few things going in over the next couple of years, but yeah, definitely needed it. I think I spent most of my time in Epcot in Starbucks. Definitely found the snack credits with Starbucks really good. Hollywood Studios as well, we did that. We basically spent most of our time in Hollywood Studios on Toy Story Midway Mania. I think partway through the trip we actually managed to do like 10 fast passes on it in one day, which is just insane. It was luckily that they'd like literally just reopened the fast pass line, so we were able to just jump on the My Disney Experience app and book them constantly, which was really good. I did Haunted Mansion, no, not Haunted Mansion, Hollywood Tower Hotel again this year. Made myself feel very sick. If you haven't seen that vlog, go and watch it because it is hilarious. I basically look like I'm about to pass out. I look absolutely terrified, and it made me feel very sick, and I don't think I will be going on it anytime soon. Basically, I did Rock and Roller Coaster as well. That was brilliant, really like that. I love the music in Rock and Roller Coaster. And we didn't do any of the shows in Hollywood Studios this time. We didn't do what's it called, Indiana Jones. We didn't do, oh we did actually, we did do Beauty and the Beast, which was just amazing. Love it so much. And we obviously did Fantasmic, but we didn't do Little Mermaid. So they're all things that we will pick up and probably do this year, because we haven't done them for a couple of years now. But Fantasmic is just amazing. The music that they play, I wish I could find the album for it. I've even tweeted Disney to ask them, and they said that it's not available. The music when you're walking into Fantasmic and they're playing, like, it's essentially like a cover version of all of the Disney songs. They are the best cover versions of those songs that I've ever heard. Like, me just going in and sitting down and listening to that music just puts me in the best mood ever before Fantasmic even starts, which just the Disney feels, I absolutely love it. And finally, not Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. I adore Animal Kingdom. I absolutely love it. We had one of the best safaris that I have ever had. We saw the lions, we saw the giraffes wandering right in front of our safari vehicle. We saw the springboks bronking, I think, or pronking across the savannah. It was amazing. It was a really good safari, and we did it about, I think it was about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. It was really early, but I think that is why the animals were so active, because it was a lot cooler. Apart from that, Animal Kingdom is one of my favourite parks, and I keep thinking, like, as soon as I'm talking about all of the parks, I keep thinking of all the food that was in all of the parks, and that is one thing that was definitely a highlight from this trip. All of the Disney food. I've never eaten so much food on Disney property in my life, and I loved it. Animal Kingdom, Yak and Yeti quick service, Yak and Yeti sit down restaurant, and Tiffin's are brilliant. Tiffin's is a signature dining restaurant and you have to do it. Yak and Yeti quick service, best quick service on Disney in my opinion. Absolutely loved it. There were some other really good restaurants that we ate at over the holiday, one of which being the Yachtsman Steakhouse at Yacht and Beach Club. Really nice. That garlic bread and that potato gratin was amazing. We did character dining at not California Grill, Garden Grill, which was really good, great character interactions and also really good food. I keep getting them mixed up the wrong way around. California Grill was also an amazing dining experience, and we got to see Happily Ever After from the top of the Contemporary Resort, which was really good. Just in general, I don't think I've had a bad meal on Disney. I've had better than others, but I haven't had any bad meals, so that was just, it was just amazing. And bringing all of the snack treats home with us, we had about 20 crispy treats coming home with us in our case, and it was really nice to just sit and eat a crispy treat on a night when we were having those Disney blues. I wish they lasted a little bit longer, but they didn't. Probably within a couple of weeks we'd eaten them all, because on a night we would just split one because we were so depressed that we were back from Disney and the magic was over. So we've done, oh, the main thing, we've done parks, we've done food. I forgot about Universal. We'll circle back to Universal, I think. But the weather. The weather was the biggest thing that I will remember about that trip, which is quite bad. I have been to Disney, I think that was my 14th time at Disney World. And each time we've been, I think bar one time, we've been in May. And we have never experienced rain like that in my life in Disney. I mean, we even went in July one year, June, July I think it was, and it didn't even rain as heavy as that, and that is heading into their rainy season. There was some kind of freak weather system off the coast of Florida that was causing that rain, and even like the cast members were saying to me, this is not normal. I was like, I know it's not. Like, what is going on? They're like, it just doesn't rain solidly all day every day in Disney. It's just not the way their weather system works. So yeah, that was a little bit sad, and it put a little bit of a dampener on the day a couple of times. But we got ponchos, we powered through it, we're British, we'll go walk parks in the rain, we genuinely don't care. But it did put a little bit of a dampener on it, because you can't just wander, well you could, but wandering around in the rain, like soaking up the atmosphere of the Disney, is just not the same as when it's lovely sunshine. Also, it affected a couple of nights when we were watching fireworks shows. Watching fireworks shows with water dripping off your nose is not very nice, just saying. Next year we are gonna pre-plan and take a brolly, an umbrella, and a couple of like packer max, so we don't have to buy ponchos. Fingers crossed we will not have to use them, but we're taking them just in case, because ponchos get a bit, like, you get fed up of wearing ponchos pretty quickly. So yeah, weather was not so good, but like I say, it is never normally like that in May. It is normally brilliant weather, and I would recommend anyone going in May time if they're looking for really nice hot weather, not too hot and not raining. But yeah, Universal, completely forgot about Universal. Universal holds a special place in my heart. I don't think I would ever go to Disney and never do Universal. It's just, I don't know, walking into some of the areas I just get goosebumps, particularly walking into Jurassic Park and hearing the Jurassic Park music. There is something magical about that. They say Disney's magical, Universal's just as magical in my opinion, even to the point where if I hear the Jurassic Park music when I'm at home, or if it comes on the telly, I'm instantly transported back to walking from Toon Lagoon into Jurassic Park and to see the water ride straight in front of me, the River Journey I think it's called. Oh, I love it, love that park. This time we saw the projection show on Hogwarts Castle, which was really good. We caught that by fluke. Spent loads of time in Harry Potter, which was really good. We spent loads of time on Men in Black. As you know, I love a good alien style shooting game. I worked out that the red button actually works, and it's you can actually push it. As I say, I've been there 14 times, and that is the first time that I've discovered that. I was like, Phil, what are you doing? You've pressed the button. And he was like, well, it told you to. I was like, did it? was like, we're gonna have to go back on and find out. And then I was getting really annoyed that other people were pressing the button instead of me. But yeah, so much fun. Loved all the rides. We ate at Tooth and Chocolate Emporium, which was really good as well. Did Islands of Adventure, got soaking wet. If you go to Islands of Adventure and you come out dry, you've not done it properly. We did Volcano Bay for the first time this time, and that was really good. Unfortunately, the day we went was a bit miserly, a bit cold, but it was really good anyway, and I can't wait to go back and do it properly in the sunshine. Probably when, I think we did it like towards the end of the holiday where I was a little bit more tired, my feet were definitely in pain. So if we do it a little bit earlier this time to kind of get the most out of it, we're not quite knackered yet, and we're not quite like, I can't walk because my feet are about to fall off point in the trip. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to do Volcano Bay again. All the slides were really good. The aqua coaster was brilliant. The river rapids were good. So yeah, definitely worth a go. If you do like the Disney water parks, you will love Volcano Bay. Disney transport, loved it. I mean, as I said at the beginning, we had a car, but we barely used it. The main times that we used it was if we were a little bit late for a dining reservation or a fast pass, or needed to be somewhere quickly, or needed to be somewhere a little bit odd. Like we used it to get to the water parks, because if you use Disney transport for water parks, you have to like do a transfer, so you have to get the bus from your resort to either Disney Springs and Disney Springs to Typhoon Lagoon, or I think Blizzard Beach you have to go to Animal Kingdom first and then get the bus there to Blizzard Beach. So on those days we did use the car. We also used the car for what was it, Grand Floridian, when we had breakfast there, just because it's a little bit out of the way. But again, it's easy enough to get to if you don't have a vehicle. You just get the bus to Magic Kingdom and get the monorail around, which is so much fun. I love doing that. But one of the things that I was most kind of surprised by, is probably the right word, was how good the Disney transport was. It was brilliant. I think the most we waited for a bus was maybe like half an hour, a little bit longer, but that was like Magic Kingdom kicking out time, so you expect it to be busy. And it wasn't the fact that the buses weren't turning up, it was the fact that the queue was that long. But yeah, the transport is brilliant. The links as well between all of the parks, between all the resorts, are also really good. For example, one day we needed to go to Swan and Dolphin, so we got the bus to Hollywood Studios and walked there. One day we went to the Contemporary. You can walk from that to Magic Kingdom. I was surprised at how connected everything all is, and particularly at resorts where there's restaurants that people tend to visit, they are so well connected to the Disney parks, which made it a lot easier to get around, and it made me just feel like I was wandering around the town, like my local town. Didn't feel odd, didn't feel strange. I didn't feel kind of scared and apprehensive because I was in a strange country wandering around. I felt really safe, really content, and just peaceful is the easiest way I can describe it. It's like wandering between the resorts and things, just peaceful and nice and just chilled. So that was something that really surprised me. I completely forgot one of the things that we also did towards the beginning of our trip was go to Kennedy Space Center. How did I forget that? It was brilliant. If you haven't seen that vlog, obviously the playlist will be linked below, but I will link that specific one as well, because we actually saw a space launch. They were launching the Falcon 9 for the first time. Was it the Falcon? Yeah, it was the Falcon 9, which was the first time that they were going to launch a rocket that they'd be able to recycle essentially 100 times, which is the first time they've ever been able to recycle the rockets that they launch into space, which is really, really good and quite a momentous thing to see, and a completely lucky thing that we saw. It wasn't planned that we were going to be there on launch day. I didn't even know that there was a launch happening until we got there. It was a really good day, really informative, and definitely worth a visit if you are heading over to Orlando. It is a little bit of a trek out from the kind of main Orlando area with all the parks and stuff. It's probably an hour and a half drive away, but it is like very easy roads, like basically long straight roads. I think I put some of the road clips in on the vlog, and there's basically no cars or traffic around you, you're just driving, which is the roads that I like because it's so simple. But yeah, it was a really good day, really cheap as well. I was quite surprised at how cheap the tickets were for it. I just picked mine up from Florida Ticks before we went, and it was really good day. But yeah, that trip was one of, if not the best trip to Walt Disney World I have ever had. And I think firstly we went for 3 weeks, so I was fully switched off, fully immersed in the Disneyness of it all. Secondly, because we stayed on resort, we didn't feel like we had to make the most of every single day, which sounds really bad, but sometimes Disney holidays can be so tiring, and people are like, oh, I need a holiday when I get back, because we've literally been up till 8 till 12 every day in the parks, walking constantly on our feet in the heat, absolutely knackered. Which is not the way I like to do Disney holidays, because you are knackered, you don't enjoy it, and you do need a holiday when you come back. So this time, particularly with staying on site and the transport links being so good, we just park hopped all the time. It's the first time I've ever park hopped, and like popped back to the resort, went back out for tea, and it made it feel more like a holiday, less like we're going to a specific park today and we are going to be there all day because that's the only time we're going to that park. I felt like the fact that like we might spend the morning in Magic, but yet the afternoon we'll pop to Epcot because we've got a dining reservation at Garden Grill, that made the holiday feel more like a holiday for me and so much more relaxing. And I will struggle not to stay on site in future. I was a complete anti-on-site person beforehand, and it was the dining plan that like swung me this time. But now I honestly think like I like staying on site. I do. I'm going to do a whole video about it anyway. I'm going to do a whole video about whether you should stay on site, stay off site, the pros and cons for each, because there's definitely pros and cons for both options, and depending on the type of person you are, or the type of holiday you like, or the like quantity of people you're going with, will depend on which option is best for you. So I'm going to do that video just to give you kind of a rounded opinion of which one you should go for, really, because I have done both. I've done all three actually. I've done on-site in a hotel, I've done off-site in a hotel, and I've done off-site in a villa. Quite a few times, apart from the Disney on-site one, of each of those other two options. So yeah, anyway, that's my Disneyness. I'm so sad that all of the Disney vlogs are now over. It's basically the face I did all the way through the final day. I was like, will I stop putting my little pet lip out for this? But I was genuinely so sad to go home and head back to reality. I just love that Disney bubble. It truly is a Disney bubble, and it is the most special place on earth, and it definitely has my heart. So yeah, it is not the end of Disney on my channel though. As you can tell, I'm a little bit crazy for it. So there will be Disney videos coming out every week. However, they will be more along the lines of prepping and planning for your holiday. In a couple of weeks time is when I get to book my fast passes for my trip in May. So I'm going to vlog that for you just so you can see what happens in it, what you have to do, all that jazz. I'm going to have packing videos, I'm going to have my on-site off-site video, I'm going to have all sorts of trip planning guides for you if you are trying to plan your Disney trip and you're a little bit confused, because I don't blame you, because there's a lot of information out there, a lot of options, and you want to pick the right one because it can be quite expensive. So that's my Disney trip. Thank you so much for watching. The biggest thing that I should have said at the beginning of this video was what's made this trip even better was editing and watching the vlogs back and seeing all your lovely comments on them all made my absolute day, and it helps with the Disney blues, and I love you all for it. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for following along with my Disney vlogs. Feel free to rewatch and binge watch them, because I do that with quite a lot of people's Disney vlogs. Leave in the description box down below where you would like to stay next time when you head to Disney World, or if it's the first time you're going, where would be your dream place to stay, whether it be on site or off site. Yeah, leave that in the comments down below. I will see you all very soon with either vlogs or Disney videos, but there will be something coming on my channel for you. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to make your own magic, because that is my new tagline, and I will see you later. Bye!
I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so